told you to quiet down, but now you wear a crown. Visionary queen with a spark.
Welcome to You Matter in Business with Ariel Faith, your brand, your story, and your success, because you matter in your business. Welcome back to You Matter in Business. This week you have me, Ariel Faith, and I'm going to be sharing something kind of interesting that might surprise you. I think we hear a lot about stories in marketing and heart stories and why they convert more than our credentials. And I wanted to share some interesting information with you that I did some research on. The stories that come from our heart, the ones about our struggles, our breakthroughs, our real human moments, those are actually the ones that convert better than if we listed every one of our credentials and every single certificate we took and how many years of experience and all those things. And one of the big reasons is because connection beats perfection every single time in business. So remember that connection beats perfection every single time in business. You know how we've been talking about finding your authentic voice and giving yourself permission to use it? Well, here's why this becomes incredibly practical in your marketing and your sales conversations, your content, every way you connect with potential clients. Here's what most of us do. We think about people more about our degrees than our experiences. We lead with our certifications, our achievements. And I know you've experienced this. You've sat down for a speech or some educational program, and they just, for 15, 20, 30, sometimes even longer, they'll give you this huge, long background story. They list everything that they've ever accomplished, thinking that that's their way of building credibility. But does it work? Credibility matters, and we need to show up what we've done and that we are skilled. I mean, that's important. But in time, here's what I've discovered. People respect I can't say that word, credentials. Sorry about that. But they don't connect with them. Impressive doesn't equal relatable. It's like the difference between reading a medical textbook and talking to someone who's actually lived through the illness you're facing. The textbook has all the facts, all the technical knowledge, all the information, all the official documents to prove the facts. But the person who's been through it, they understand what it's really like. Think about the last time you hired someone for something important, a coach, a consultant, a service provider. Did you choose them because they had the most credentials on their wall, or because something they said made you think, this person gets it? They understand what I'm going through. People buy from people they trust, not just people they're impressed by. And trust comes from connection. That moment when someone hears your story and thinks, oh, me too. If she could figure it out, maybe I can too. Your heart stories, the ones that show your journey, not just your destination, these create that connection. When you share how you've struggled with something your ideal client is struggling with, you're not just selling a service, you're offering hope, possibility, a roadmap that can actually envision following.
Behind the lens, crafting tales and news.
Bring your marketing, your brand to life with storytelling and strategy. Cut through the noise with clear messaging and compelling visuals that resonate with your ideal client. We bring strategy, story, and visuals to help you with your marketing. Visit arieljoyfaith.com and schedule a consultation and see how we can help you bring your brand to life.
Selfies here, just genuine sight. Authenticity in every lie.
Think of it like being lost in a new city. You could ask somebody who's who studied the map extensively and knows all the street names, and you could ask someone who was lost in the exact same place last week and found their way out. Both might help you, but one has walked the path you're walking. This is especially powerful with women because women like us who've lived enough life to have real stories and decades of experience, you hard-won wisdom. You didn't do it the easy way. Your journey was through challenges. That's not just your personal history. That's your professional credibility. Came out right that time. Think about it. Would you rather work with someone who tells you they have 5 certifications in life coaching, or someone who says, "I've been where you are," questioning everything at 45, wondering if it was too late to change directions, feeling like I've accomplished everything I thought I wanted, but still feeling empty inside? Here's what I learned. Your struggle becomes someone else's hope. Your breakthroughs become their possibility. Your real human moments, the failures, the fears, the times you wanted to give up, those become the bridge that connects what they need and what you offer. Now, I'm not saying you should overshare to turn your marketing into therapy. There's a difference between being vulnerable and being a victim, between sharing your journey and making it all about you. The key is sharing stories that serve, not stories that seek sympathy. It's like being a tour guide. A good tour guide doesn't just recite facts about the landscape. They share stories about what it was like to discover those places. What surprised them? What have they learned along the way? The facts inform, the stories inspire. Share the story of how you solved a problem you're facing. Share what you've learned from all the mistakes you're afraid of making. Share how you found clarity in a situation where they feel confused. Your story becomes a gift to them, not a burden. And here's something beautiful that happens. When you start leading with heart stories instead of your credentials, you attract people who value depth over surface, authenticity over perfection. You start working with people who appreciate your whole journey, not just your achievements. Your heart stories are uniquely yours. No one else has lived your exact combination of experiences, learned your specific lessons, developed your particular wisdom. That's not just personal value, that's professional differentiation. It's like having a secret ingredient in your grandmother's recipe. Other people might know the basic recipe, but they don't know that one special element that makes it uniquely yours. Your lived experience is your secret ingredient. This ties perfectly into what we're going to talk about next week. Did you know that there are actually 6 completely different types or styles of stories your business needs? And mixing them up is costing you clients you don't even know you're missing. So we're going to talk about, we just talked about what the guide's backstory. That's what we talked about this week. And then next week, we're going to talk about the other 6 or 5 story types that are used and very useful for business. And I look forward to talking to you next week. See you next episode. After all, it is your brand, your story, and your success, because I know that you matter in business. Thank you for listening to You Matter in Business podcast. Please follow, share, like, and comment. I would love to hear from you. This podcast is sponsored by Ariel Faith, Storytelling Marketing, and Your Brand Photographer. The show notes provide more information on how to contact Ariel and more information about this episode. Thank you again.
They told you to quiet down, but now you wear a crown. Visionary queen with a spark, lighting up the dark. Rediscover your own fire, chase the dreams that lift you higher. Redefine your role today, brand new in every way. Build your confidence through my lens, break the walls you put on since. Embrace your power, hear your roar. You are meant for so much more. You are meant for so much more.